Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Lara May, a clinical pharmacist specializing in functional medicine, as well as a certified yoga teacher and Reiki master. I run a truly integrative health coaching practice, encompassing functional medicine lab testing, yoga and meditation, and a sprinkling of Reiki energy medicine. Join me here on Light Body Radio to break through your health plateau and come into alignment with your natural vitality. Hey everybody, Happy New Year and welcome back to Light Body Radio. It's been a while since we've chatted, so to speak, and so I am ready to jump back into providing you with the best possible content on this lovely little podcast. So I'm sure you're wondering like where I've been and what I've been up to, and so I just want to go over that for a little bit, and then I want to talk about morning rituals and your morning routine. So since the holidays, it was really crazy, and I went on this amazing spiritual pilgrimage, and it made me start to think about everything, like where I've been, like when I started this journey and where I wanted to go. So I took some time to reflect and regroup and sort of refocused myself. I've launched this journey into integrative health, Reiki, and energy medicine really from a place of frustration within the world of Western medicine that I work professionally in. As you know, or maybe you don't know, I'm a board-certified clinical pharmacist specialist, and I do work in a small acute care facility in Northern California. And while I am passionate about educating and empowering and helping the people, which includes the doctors and nurses, in addition to the patients and family I interact with on a daily basis, I feel like there is something more, and a lot of what I do, unfortunately, I consider just band-aid medicine, meaning patients come in with a problem and a symptom, and we give them something to not really cure or solve their problem, but just to alleviate their symptom. And so when I started getting disillusioned and I started looking for other ways and other things I could do to help people, I came across integrative nutrition health coaching. And so I have gone down that path of educating myself about over 200 dietary methods and processes, and the process of health coaching, and really helping people dive deeper and into their practices and their habits, and getting and learning ways to create new processes and habits, and therefore creating a healthier lifestyle and a happier life. And so also since then I have ventured off, and I in December became a certified yoga teacher, which I'm super excited about. And I've also ventured into the world of Reiki, and I'm a master trained Reiki practitioner, and I practice Asui and angelic and crystal Reiki. So I have all of these things, and I'm really passionate about helping people and empowering them along and helping them figure out what they need to do to feel more fulfilled in their life and to find that balance of health and wellness that is really different for everyone. And so that's sort of like where this podcast came from too. It's like, well, how can I reach more people and help more people and bring more awareness into the world of all the different ways that are out there for us to improve upon our lives? So after my spiritual pilgrimage and the holidays hit, I just sort of found myself in a whirlwind. And so really, I took a step back, and, I thought about all of these different things that I've been educating myself about and expanding my own both professional and personal practices. And so here we are. And it's almost February. Today's the 31st of January. And so I want to say Happy New Year, but also I really want you guys to think about where you are this new year and where you've come, how far you've come, and maybe, all the different paths you've taken over the last year, maybe 2 or 3 years. And did you start out with some intentions or goals, and have you strayed away from those? And is it time to maybe come full circle and bring yourself back more towards center? So in 2019, this year, you will hear more consistently from this podcast. That is a goal and intention specifically for myself, but also for you. And I really want to focus more on the functional medicine side of things. And if you're not familiar with functional medicine, let me just give you a little brief definition. Functional medicine is a systems biology approach. That means we don't look at just the one piece of you, like your gut or maybe your heart. We look at the whole body and how the whole body functions really as an ensemble. And so it focuses on identifying and addressing the root cause of the disease. No more Band-Aid medicine, at least not in, and I never did this in my personal practice anyway, but I really want to focus on helping all of you out there find your root causes of whatever it is that's ailing you or troubling you, whether it's more emotional or spiritual, or maybe it's physical and health related. And that's why I consider my practice a truly integrative practice, because I definitely incorporate the functional medicine side of things, which encompasses lab testing and nutraceuticals and supplements, and sometimes looking at what prescription medications you're on and if those are serving your highest good or not. And if not, then how can we collaborate with your physician or healthcare practitioner to maybe see about weaning you off of those if it's possible, of course, as you get healthier along your way. So again, getting to the root cause of disease really seems like the direction that I want to go, and it seems like the logical place that most people truly do want to go. They want a cure, or they want to at least know why certain things are happening, instead of just saying, okay, you have this cough, here, take this. Well, how about, why did I get the cough? Or why do I have this runny nose? Am I constantly inflamed and sniffly because I have these allergies, which are really coming back to the root cause of what I'm eating or what I'm exposed to on a daily basis? So my mission is to teach you how to eat and live a healthy life, and to understand how your environment affects your own health, even down to your genetic expression in terms of epigenetics, and to learn how to help our bodies heal without the need for prescription drugs, because it really is possible. It's just a matter of, are we dedicated to that mission, or do we want to take the easy way out? So again, my commitment for this upcoming year is to provide you with more consistent content, podcasts, workshops, and different things, while still providing the value that I always have in the past, with looking at meditation and more of those abstract things like how to build your self-confidence or your self-esteem, or how to find that feeling of connectedness. Because all of these things are, really important, and they affect how we perceive the quality of our life. And perception is reality. So, and that's the one thing that we do have true control of, are the thoughts that are in our head. While we might feel like a slave to maybe the little minions running around in our head, we really do have control of the thoughts that we think. And so learning how to overcome those, or how to train the good thoughts to outweigh the bad or the self-destructive. So I would love to hear your suggestions. Please let me know what you want to learn more about, or know more about, or things you want me to focus on, whether it's the mind chatter, or is it brain function, or is it inflammation, is it autoimmune, is it gut health, all of these things. I have, of course, my list of things that I want to bring to you, which is what I'll be doing, but along the way, I would really love to hear your suggestions and questions. So please feel free to reach out and let me know. So that's sort of, where, again, like where I was, where I am now with the new year, and intentions I've set for myself in relation to this blog and my business, and my practice. But now I want to talk to you about what are some of the fundamental elements of morning ritual and morning routines. And I don't know if you've listened to, I'm sure you have listened to a lot of other podcasts, and I don't know if you've listened to maybe Tony Robbins or Tim Ferriss or even Joe Rogan, and they all talk about the importance of their morning routine and what they do to really hone themselves in for the rest of the day. And so the reason this is important is because it really does set yourself up for success, happiness, productivity, and ultimate health. And I want to, at this point, address the actual definition of health. Health is a state of being free from illness or injury. So if you stop and you reflect on where you are right now, can you say that you're healthy? Are you free from illness and injury? If not, then what steps can you take right now to get yourself to that point? And that might seem like a huge leap to some people. Maybe they're, not free from illness. Maybe they are struggling with diabetes or high cholesterol, or you feeling run down or tired. But there are little steps every day that you can take to help you get to that ultimate state of health and well-being. And well-being is defined as a state of being comfortable, happy, or healthy. And so I know these terms health and well-being are just thrown around very casually these days, but I think it's really important to think about the ultimate meaning of them and to reflect on, is that something that's present? Is it something that's realistic? And is it something that, if it's not present, how can I implement it? Is it something that's attainable? So yes, I think that you can be free from illness and injury, and you can be in a state of happiness and comfort. It's just a matter of how do we get there. So I think our morning routines are one of the most foundational things that we can do in order to set ourselves up for success, in order to reach that ultimate goal of health and well-being. So, what's the first step? The first step of any morning routine, what do you do first? You wake up. And this might sound like super oversimplified, but just stick with me here for a minute. So the first thing when you wake up, what are your first thoughts? Is it, oh my God, it's too early? Or, oh my God, I have so much to do today? Or maybe you're woken up, really rudely by a child or a significant other, or, an alarm clock. Whatever it is, our first thoughts when we wake up are really, they start to set the tone for the rest of the day. And it's something so small, but it can be so powerful. And a while ago, I was watching this movie with the late, great Wayne Dyer in it. And it was sort of one of those cheesy self-help movies that he made. But at the very beginning, it shows him and his character waking up, and his alarm goes off, and the first thing that he starts to do is start to say thank you before his eyes even open. He just starts to say thank you, and to think and embody this state of gratitude. And I thought, when I saw that, I was like, wow, that's so simple, but so profound too, because it immediately gets you it prevents you from going to the negative place as soon as your alarm goes off, before you even open your eyes with, oh God, what time is it? Or, oh my gosh, I'm so tired, or, whatever those thoughts are. And so I implemented that, and it has really changed how I wake up in the morning. I definitely wouldn't call myself a morning person, and I used to identify as a horrible waker-upper. And you can ask my husband, I still have my moments, but since I saw this movie and I implemented this tiny little thing, my mornings are totally different. I have also implemented the thank you. And I just continue it as I'm brushing my teeth or having my, morning bathroom time or making my coffee. And it's one of those, it's become a routine and a ritual for me. And I'll go into this later, but when we go to the mindset work, but having a state of gratitude really puts you in that higher vibration, and it makes it almost, I won't say totally impossible, but it makes it a lot less likely that the negative things will be able to penetrate your mood and your psyche, because you're already in a state of appreciation and thankfulness. And if you want to, you can say specifically the things that you're thankful or grateful or appreciative for, but it can be just as simple as repeating the two words, thank you. So again, when we first wake up, what are the first thoughts? And maybe, that whole practice of thank you seems a little bit too airy-fairy for you, and that's totally fine. But I encourage you and I challenge you to at least be aware of what are those first thoughts. What are my first thoughts when I wake up? And be deliberate about them. I want you to acknowledge them without judgment. I am always a big fan of not judging yourself, because as soon as you instill judgment into whatever you're trying to change, that automatically sort of builds a wall in front of you, and it's just another obstacle you have to overcome. So be aware, notice what your thoughts are, and notice them without judgment. And once you've done those things, then you can get to the point of choosing a different thought. And like I said earlier, while sometimes we might feel powerless to the little minions running around in our noggin, we really are in control of the thoughts that we think. We just have to slow down, step back, and take control of them. So I did that by instilling the two words thank you into my morning, but you can do that in whichever way resonates with you. And so again, once you have the awareness, then you can choose a different thought, a different behavior, a different habit. And so that brings me to the second aspect of the morning formula, or our morning routines, is the mindset work. And you might notice that that little mantra could also be considered part of the mindset work. And I love how all of these interplay on one another. And I think to definitely, none of us have an unlimited time in the morning, I don't think. And to those of you out there that do, I give you props and congratulations. But most of us, on most mornings, we wake up, we have to get to work, or we have to get the kids ready for school, or whatever it is. There's things that we have to do. We can't just, sit around and zen out all morning, as nice as that would be. So I definitely, while I'm going to suggest several things, I want you to pick what resonates with you to implement, and only take literally 5, 10, 15 minutes at the most to do these things, and then move on with your day. But just notice how just that small amount of time of dedicating yourself to your own self-improvement can change everything. It can change your attitude. It can change your outlook. It changes the energy that you bring into your relationships, into your work. It changes how people respond to you, because once you've changed your energy, people feel that and they respond to you differently. So all of these things, even though they're small, they can be so powerful. So like I said, the next step is mindset work. And I encourage you to, while I like to do things, especially in my morning practice, I don't always write things down. The practice of writing things down in our brain has been scientifically proven to really instill it and reinforce the energy of it in our lives. So journaling is a great thing to do in the morning, and you can do it in terms of the mind dump, which is where you just write out everything that's in your head. You just get it out, you get it out on paper, and then you move on. Or there is the gratitude practice, like I do, of the verbal thank you, but you can also do the written gratitude practice and just take 3 to 5 minutes to write down everything you're grateful for that you can think of. Or if that's too much, just do 3 things. How long does it take to do 3 things? Like, say, I am grateful for the roof over my head. I am grateful for the love that I have in my life. I am grateful for my friends and family. Those 3 things. What did that take me? Less than 30 seconds? I don't know. I'm not timing myself, but it didn't take long. And then you can move on. Also, there's another thing that I do almost every morning is my morning meditation practice. And again, this doesn't have to be an hour-long meditation. And when I do have time, I do meditate for much longer. That's not my normal everyday. My normal everyday is I wake up with my thank yous, I go and have my short little bathroom time, and then I do a movement practice in the morning. And that will encompass my meditation. You can also do morning affirmations and morning intention setting. And these 2 can be 2 different things, or they can be one and the same. And so out of all that, the journaling, meditation, affirmations, gratitude practice, and setting intentions, I want you to think about what resonates most for you, what feels the most doable. And I encourage you to just start this week, maybe Monday, maybe on Sunday even, maybe on a day where it is more relaxing and it'll feel more juicy and more fulfilling to take your time with it. Start and just, again, start small, and as you do it daily, the practice will grow and evolve, and you will come to love and nourish this practice and make it your own. So again, I'm going to review. Step 1, how do you wake up? I want you to try to start being deliberate with how you wake up instead of just going into your autopilot. Because as humans, we are habitual creatures. And so you're never going to get rid of your habits, but you can change them. So how we wake up is definitely habitual. And we are not a slave to it. We can be proactive, we can be deliberate, and we can make the changes if we just decide and start thinking about, what we want the ideal situation to look like. What do we want our morning routine to look like? You can create that. So I want you to feel empowered and feel like you can do this, because you can. Okay, so the next step after the waking up and the mindset work is fueling. F-U-E-L, fuel. How are you fueling your mind? You're doing that already with your mindset work, but how are you also fueling your body? So this encompasses 2 different things, food and movement. And I mentioned before where I like to, mine is and combines a lot of things. So like I said, I have the gratitude practice with my thank yous when I wake up. And then I have my movement and meditation practice. And for me, that can include whether it's yoga or HIIT training or weight training or a run with my dogs in the morning in the summer. Inevitably, it also will include a meditation with that. So I want you to think about movement in the morning, and it doesn't have to be something crazy intense. It just, something to get yourself the blood pumping. This includes like raising your dopamine and serotonin in the morning, making you feel better and think happier thoughts and having a better outlook. And it'll also carry out throughout the day, because as we, get the heart pumping and burn extra calories in the morning, this carries through our metabolism throughout the rest of the day. So this is not only a great practice for our mind, but it's a wonderful habit to be in for the benefit of our body and our health. So think about it. What ways can you instill 15, 30 minutes most of movement in the morning? And trust me, again, I work 10.5-hour days when I go to work. I commute 1 hour one way, so that's 2 hours of commuting. So for me, half of my day is just dedicated to getting to work and being at work. So that doesn't leave a lot of time to, dedicate to a workout when I'm on my work days. So mine are short and sweet. I oftentimes like to do like a 20-minute HIIT workout or 20-minute weightlifting, and then I'll do a short 3 to 5 minute meditation. Or I'll start with my thank yous. I'll do my meditation in bed before I even get up, and then I'll go and I'll have my morning coffee, and then do my workout. So again, make it your own and figure out what you love to do, what makes you feel good. Maybe it's just easy morning yoga, some stretching, and maybe you have some chronic pain somewhere. Maybe you're injured. So get creative. There are so many options. YouTube is a fantastic resource for free stuff. So if you think that maybe you have a spinning bike at home and you're like, oh, well, I really like to go to the gym, but they don't have, the classes at the time I can go. Well, get on YouTube and find a spinning video, and then you can do it at home on your own time. Or maybe the same with a treadmill, or, yoga classes. There are so many yoga classes on YouTube. So take advantage of that. And so let's quickly go over some food stuff, and then we will wrap it up. So morning food, you really want to make sure you're getting a good amount of fat and protein in the morning. Don't sugar yourself up with fruit and toast and juice. I'm trying to think of all the other sugary things. Cereal. I don't eat cereal anymore, so that's why it wasn't the first thing in my mind. But a lot of people still start their day with a bowl of cereal with milk, and that is just cups upon cups of sugar, and you're not doing yourself any favors, because what happens when you spike your sugar? It plummets. And what happens when your sugar plummets? You feel like crap. You feel tired and run down and brain foggy. So just stop doing that and start doing what's good for your brain and good for your body and will be good for you for the rest of the day. So get some fat in there. Get some coconut oil or some avocado or some good quality ghee or butter, and make a porridge with some hemp seeds or flax seeds or chia seeds, which also have great amounts of good fat in them. You can also add in maybe some bacon or eggs, as long as they're coming from good sources. They're not factory farmed, and they're not all processed. These are all good fat and protein options for your morning. And if I didn't list anything that sounds appealing to you, just Google, healthy fat protein breakfast and just see what comes up for you. You can take scrambled eggs and put them in like little muffin tins and make yourself some little egg muffins to go. And you can add in little pieces of bacon or sausage or whatever you like, chicken, or maybe you're vegan. You can add in some good quality tofu. I stress good quality when it comes to any soy product. You want to make sure it's not GMO, but making sure you're getting enough fat and protein that you should feel satiated for the next 5 to 6 hours. If you're hungry again in 3 hours after you've eaten, then you haven't fueled yourself properly, or your body is a complete sugar burner and not a fat burner. And if you don't know what that means when I say that, I wrote a whole blog about how to convert yourself into a fat burner and a sugar burner. So definitely check that out. So just a quick recap for my first podcast of 2019 is the morning formula for your new morning ritual to set yourself up for creativity, productivity, and happiness and success. Number 1, be intentional with how you wake up and what you think when you wake up, and change those thoughts if they need to be changed. Number 2, what is your mindset work that you're doing in the morning? Are you journaling, meditating, setting your intentions, coming up with some affirmations and practicing gratitude? And then number 3, how are you fueling yourself with food and movement? So I hope that you can take this into your mornings in this new year and create a healthy morning ritual that will set yourself up for success for the rest of the day and even the rest of the year. My goal and my intention is that this helps you to create something positive that just has so many ripple effects into your life. Again, let me know what you want to hear from me or what you want me to talk about, and I'll be happy to do that. Make sure to follow me on my Facebook and Instagram and Twitter at Dr. Lara May. That's DrLaramay. And you can find this podcast, Light Body Radio, on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, and Anchor FM. So I hope you have a fantastic day and week, and Happy New Year.